Hello and welcome to Obviously a Tournament, episode 4. Here we have both heats C and D to see who will meet up with Death of a Spatula, Earthquake, Scary Harry the Christmas Cat, and Wasted in the main knockout bracket to become the Obviously a Tournament champion. In Heat C, we have Visions, EHK Duali, Snowdozer, and Fernando. And up first, we have Visions versus EHK Duali. Visions, the wedged
Three,
flywheel,
two,
and Duali, the
one,
controlled
go.
lifter. It's going to be a clash of styles and a wedge lock straight away. The spinner kind of dragging the front wedge of Duali deep into Visions. His Drola stuck on the wall, Visions comes in, just pushes away. Those wedges on the front of Visions are very low and it's known for being a control lock first. Getting some good hits on the side of Duali. Duali really just cannot get away. Big flick up there. Visions seems to be stuck. Can they get it moving? Duali's also not moving. I believe Visions is stuck on wheel slices from Duali. And they're both moving. Mainly because Duali came in for a hit on Visions. Visions getting flicked around by the side wedges of Duali, but now again kind of stuck pushing each other. Visions gets away, comes in for a bigger attack, but just seems to be going up the front wedge of Duali. This is what Duali's really got to keep doing, bringing that wedge into the front and not go up the side wedges. But now Duali's underneath the sides. That's kind of what it also has to try and do. It's got to avoid that big spinner from Visions at all costs. Big flip there, but it's left its underside vulnerable and the top. And Visions is just going to put it up onto the spike strip. And now he can't get to it, so it's a safe place. But can Duali get down? No, they can't. They are stuck up on the spike strip. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Visions goes through. Well done to them. Goes 1-0. Next up, we have Snowdozer 2 versus Fernando. Snowdozer lifter hammer, and Fernando a huge flipper. Let's see who will join Visions on 1-0.
1, go.
And kind of just pushing against each other, but Fernando gets underneath well. Snowdozer just flying through the air, trying to get hammer hits while it's still on the ground. Another lift, not as big one, but definitely effective at turning over Snowdozer. Back on the ground, big flip. And again, the flips have caused damage. That's a battery fire within Snowdozer. That's not good. We're going to start to count it down purely because it can't move. We have seen evidence of it not moving. So we're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is it. Fernando giving it a few more flips before letting it go. Really not letting it go, but playing with its food. And I think, yep, that's Fernando with the win. To go 1-0. Next up, we have both 1-0 robots. It's Visions versus Fernando. The two favourites for the heat.
3, 2,
Pretty much
1,
said this will be
go.
whoever wins this will win the heat. Aggression here by Visions, staying underneath Fernando, taking a wheel of Fernando, but Fernando out of nowhere. It's Visions stuck on the outside here. We're going to try and give it some time to see if it can come down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Fernando wins via Uda to go 2-0. Visions has to win its next fight. Next up, we have Snowdozer versus Duali. Both robots looking to come back
3,
after a
2,
loss on the
1,
first round, and Duali's gone for a control configuration rather than a defensive one. Let's see how that does. Snowdozer coming in with some good hammer hits on the side straight away, I believe. May have got a wheel already. And the hammers can be very deadly if they get a shot in. Just spinning around in circles. Not really able to do much to each other. Can't tell if it's Duali getting lifts in or if it's Snowdozer going for hammer hits. I believe Duali's getting lifts in at the side. Kind of just spinning around in circles at the moment. Coming up to 40 seconds gone, and Snowdozer's not even left it square. Snowdozer getting some good hits in here though. Duali's underneath though, but Snowdozer's bringing the hammer down, trying to get any kind of damage he can onto the top plate, maybe trying to disable that flipper. Really just not giving up big hammer blows on top of Duali, but kind of, it looks like they might actually be completely missing. Good lift by Duali. I think that was just a drive burnt out from Duali. You saw the smoke pour out of the back of it. The hammers keep firing on Snowdozer, but there's not much happening. No real hits happening. Backs off, comes in again, hammers pounding again, but going either side of Duali and just rocking the entire robot back and forth. I don't know if there's actually any hits being made here. That's at least one, but the weapon's just kind of flailing both robots around and not really hitting each other. You kind of just want one of them to actually do something. No offense to the builders, but this is quite an enthralling fight. It seems like one of the eyes has come off Duali, but I don't know when that happened. Coming into the last 40 seconds, we'll be hoping for a bit more action from these two. But I'm not sure it's gonna come. This might go to a judge's decision. This has been quite the fight. 23 seconds left. I wish I could do better commentary. It's just not much has happened, really. It's going to the judges now. There's not going to be a count out. Mercifully, the judges will have to figure out a winner from this. I think I know who's won, but it's down to the judges. And they agree it's Snowdozer. Unanimous decision. All three judges give it to Snowdozer. Up next is Snowdozer versus Vision. Snowdozer looking for a bit more eventful fight. Both, whoever wins this robot, whoever wins this fight will go through with Fernando to the round of 32. Oh, no, round of 16. Sorry. Vision's controlling the fight. Bit more movement than in Snowdozer's last fight. But Snowdozer getting underneath. Looks like one of the wedgelets has ripped off and has gone underneath. Vision's here. Could this be a massive shock? Vision's is stuck. Gets freed by Snowdozer though. Being pushed around. Snowdozer really controlling the fight here. But Visions comes back with a few big hits on the side. Takes a wheel slice. Getting some big hits in underneath, on the sides. Just trying to do whatever it can. There goes the other wedgelet. There's no wedgelets on the front of Snowdozer now. Big hit from the back of the flywheel there from Visions. Kind of like a backhand from behind. Now they're both pushing into the spike strip. Snowdozer being counted out but moves just enough. Big hit. Vision's got the weapon up to speed evidently. But now Vision's going underneath the screws because it's short enough to do so. But manages to get out from under there. Now just grinding on the bottom of Snowdozer there. Aiming to get any nuts or bolts from underneath. Big hit again. Another wheel slice gone. I believe that's an entire wheel from the right hand side of the robot gone. Just spinning around in circles trying to get any kind of purchase. Flicked it up against the spike strip on the wall. Both robots not really moving. Visions is going to back up. There's a count out for Snowdozer. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Vision takes the win to go 2-1. They are 100% through with Fernando, but this is just a battle for fun now. Duali seeing if they can get one win
3,
in this
2,
tournament.
1, go.
Gonna be interesting. Again, gone with their control config being just lifted into the air. Can they self-right? They should be able to. Well, when Fernando flips them that high, they certainly will. Not quite self-riding there, and again, and that's pretty much ball game. They're stuck behind the hammer, but it is out of the arena. We'll see what happens. Trying to get back in. No, it's just kind of stuck there, not being able to move. I'd call this fight at this point. Fernando has won this fight. Will go through on a 3-0 record. Well done to Fernando. And that means going through are Fernando and Visions. Well done to both robots there. They will meet the other advancing robots. Next up we have Heat D. We have Double or Nothing, my robot versus Borger from Failex. We'll see what happens.
3, 2,
Big moment here for
1,
both these
go.
builders. Both spinners up to speed. Good deflection, really. I don't think the spinner really hit there from Double or Nothing, but Double or Nothing really is a robot built to get underneath things, and well, that was a very easy victory. Double or Nothing wins within 15 seconds via UDA. Didn't really get to talk much about Borger. It's a very interesting robot, but we'll talk about it more in its next fight. Next, here we have Kaboomerang versus
2,
Expo.
1,
Kaboomerang
go.
built by Unethikeele, Expo built by Skewed, sorry. Oh, the battery for the weapons already died. Is this going to be another quick fight, maybe? This will be a very quick heat if it keeps going this way. Kaboomerang just trying to stay aggressive, but despite the weapon being gone, Expo is pushing and just pushing and just pushing. Kaboomerang's in real trouble here. Like huge robots, huge wheel robots like Unethikeele's Kaboomerang are always gonna lack a bit in the control because they're just gonna get flung away whenever that weapon hits. But Expo just seems to be really controlling this well. Just keeping to the side, just pushing it around, not allowing it to do anything really. Just kind of keeping it at bay, just pushing it around, not really doing much. Kaboomerang's getting hits in, but they're just really bouncing themselves away. Could Expo get... Well, I was going to say, could Expo get Kaboomerang to the edge of the arena and possibly toss it out, but with those large wheels, you'd expect Kaboomerang to be able to make it back in, even if it is thrown out of the arena. But Expo doing really well just to keep going at Kaboomerang here. Kaboomerang thrown into the air by his own weapon, and again. If those supporting struts get stuck behind the screws, well, who knows? It could be a massive shock. Expo's not sustained any more damage than that battery fire that is now just become smoke. But there's not really much happening. The weapon is only spinning because of the hits from Kaboomerang. Kaboomerang thrown at the camera. Not really much in terms of control, but a lot of weapon effectiveness, that's for sure. The weapon just keeps hitting and hitting and hitting, and it's not really breaking despite the amount of hits it's had. It'll all come down to aggression and whether you class the weapon hits as aggression or the complete driving of Expo as aggression. Oh, big flick there! Almost turned Expo over right at the end of the fight. That would have been enough time to have a count out. We're into the last 20 seconds. Big hit again. Kind of just pushing Expo away this time. Coming up to the last 10 seconds. Big hit again. Kaboomerang turned over. Oh, and Expo's turned over, but we're out of time. It goes to the judges, who give it to Kaboomerang. Very close fight. Very, very close, but it's just enough. Next up, we have Double or Nothing versus Kaboomerang, an all-Australian fight. A complete contrast of
3,
styles here.
2,
Double or Nothing
1,
going for
go.
that ground game. Unethikeele's Kaboomerang, completely the opposite. It looks like it's going similarly to Kaboomerang's last fight, where there's not much control from it, but it's still getting hits in. However, the unfortunate thing for it is Double or Nothing's weapon is still going, unlike Expo's. Double or Nothing and Expo are quite similar robots. They've both got that big spinner on top with the big wedge on the front. So you'd have to expect that the form card shows that Unethikeele's Kaboomerang should be good. It's got it turned over, but Double or Nothing does have that Shriek and does self-right. Big hit up in the air again. It's hard to tell whether these hits are coming from Kaboomerang's spinner or Double or Nothing's. I'm assuming they're coming from Kaboomerang's, but it's hard to really tell. That one's Double or Nothing's, and again. Oh, but the entire front wedge has just been ripped out of Double or Nothing, and the Shriek as well. That's a huge shock. That's a very well armoured front wedge, and it's just gone flying off. I believe that spinner may have got to the hinge that it's situated on. So Double or Nothing's got it all to do here. The weapon effectiveness category will definitely go. Oh, it's turned over, but it's back. Oh, but Kaboomerang's out of the arena. What's going to happen here? We have to start counting it out. We'll probably get back in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It usually is able to get back in the arena, but something was not allowing it to. Double or Nothing takes the win. That's shocking and not exactly what I expected. Next up, we have
3,
Borger
2,
versus
1,
Expo.
go.
Let's see if this will be any less confusing. So, Borger, a burger-based robot. I didn't get to talk about it much in this last fight because it was out of the arena. But he's got a big angled horizontal spinner to try and get some big hits in. Expo doing really well to just keep on top of it, not letting that spinner spin up, and use its own spinner to get big hits and using that wedge. Again, it seems like we have two low ground game based robots in Expo and Double or Nothing, and two robots that aren't really about the ground game, because apart from that little fork, that little wedge at the front of Borger, it's kind of like Kaboomerang, as in it's got this curved bottom that will just allow anything underneath, but because it's curved, it will just deflect any hits. Borger just riding on top of Expo. Expo's turned it over now. Can Borger self-right? Stuck up against the wall here. Expo backs off, and it does self-right. Another big hit. Is Expo's spinner still working? No. Expo's spinner is dead. I believe it may have burnt out from Borger being on top of it. Now it's just got to push like it did against Kaboomerang, and it's turned Borger over again. It's just got to back away, and it does so. Borger is upside down. Can it self-right? It's kind of just pushing it in against the screws to get it to not move, and it's not moving. We're going to count it out at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's a win for Expo. Good comeback after its loss to Kaboomerang in the last fight. Next up, it's Double or Nothing versus Expo. A win
3,
for
2,
Expo probably
1,
puts them through.
go.
Double or Nothing are already through. This one is cemented with a 3-0. Big push there by Double or Nothing, but Expo tanking these hits very well. Able to flick away, but now it's upside down. Does Expo have a Shriek? I don't believe it does. So we're going to be counting it out. Double or Nothing, the expert of quick fights by the look of it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's a 3-0 heat for Double or Nothing. Next up, it's Borger versus Kaboomerang. Kaboomerang needs to win here. Otherwise, we have 3 robots on 1 and 2. And if that happens in the heats, it will go to a 3-way rumble. I don't think I mentioned that. Kaboomerang doing quite well. Borger's being probably the most impressive it's been. Just going for the wheels. Oh, but that's the battery, and I believe all the batteries are hooked up. And that's not good. That's ball game. That's very much a win for Kaboomerang here. Big hits. It's just really trying to play with its food here. Literally works in this situation. And there we go, counting it out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Kaboomerang has done it. They will go through with double or nothing. Meet us next week where we have the 5 for 32 winner, Extra Effort, Impact, Pika Destroy, and Gamine 2. Can't wait to see you then.